Hi everyone, and welcome inside Mullet Arena for the SunDevilSource series recap. Gabby Chernoff and Chris Cartman here following Arizona State's quarterfinals series sweep over the Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. The final result of Game 2, 6-5 overtime win, and it wasn't pretty. Chris, down 3-0 in the first period. They rallied back, they showed that resilience, and they got the win done.
Yeah, Greg Powers talked yesterday about being displeased with the effort from his team. 180 to today. Even when they were trailing 3-0, he said it wasn't his sense that they were playing poorly. It was more taking advantage of the chances that Duluth had, and ASU not taking advantage of its chances. ASU outshot Duluth in the period. I thought that the pressure was better from Duluth. But as the game unfolded, we saw a pretty resilient ASU team maximize its opportunities.
Yeah, and resilience has kind of been the story of this season. They were riddled with injury on the front end, and in the first half of the season, and then again down 3 goals after the first period tonight, they come back and they win it to book themselves a ticket to St. Paul, Minnesota. But Chris, he was very proud. Coach Powers was just very proud of his team after that. And like you said, after going down in that first period, he said, we didn't play bad hockey. He had some other words to say about their performance last night with the win, but didn't play bad hockey after going down 3-0. And then a goaltending switch happened. With Pavicic started yesterday and today, and then Gibson Homer came in. He said, it wasn't Pavicic's fault, but he kind of just wanted to, get some extra life into the team, and sometimes a goalie switch can do that. So he put Gibson Homer in, and Homer got the job done in net as well.
Yeah, he believes in good juju, is the way that Greg Powers put it. Gibson Homer had played well earlier in the season, 15 starts, I think. Played in 17 games, almost a 60-40 split between Pavicic and Homer. He was not critical at all of Pavicic in the 3-0 start, but Homer played well, especially at the beginning of the overtime period. That's kind of when it looked like there were opportunities for ASU to lose this game pretty clearly in a similar fashion to what we saw in the first with the amount of pressure that it was under, but ASU handled that well, responded pretty consistently. That's, as you said, a theme of this team, a team that struggled at the outset of the season, injuries and other issues, kind of put it behind the 8 ball, rallied quite aggressively through the middle of its schedule and into the end, then had a bad result to end the regular season here against Omaha, which left a taste in the mouth of the fans and everyone that they wanted to kind of do better in the opportunity to host in the quarterfinals, and they got that done.
Yeah, and then on the front end as well, Kyle Smolin, he was a third-line winger last night playing with the Jackson Twins. Tonight he was out with injury, so that kind of shuffled some things around. Charlie Shane, who was back for the first time in 5 games, played on the bottom line last night. Powers said he was their best player. He gets bumped up to top-line wing, and then in place of him, Cruz Lucius gets moved down to third line. Cole Gordon comes in at center on the fourth line, and then you have Ryan Alexander getting shifted over to the wing on that fourth line as well. But as far as the front end does go, Powers said earlier this week that the team who establishes a better forecheck is the team that's going to win this series, and he felt like yesterday they did a good job of it in the first half of the game, and then in the second period it all just got away from them. He said we have to fight and advance, and that's just what they did. They survived just barely, and tonight they got the win to advance. The forecheck tonight and ASU's offensive efforts, it took them a little bit to kind of get set in their ways, but eventually they did so.
Well, he said that Shane might have been the ASU's best player yesterday, and then came out and had another solid performance tonight with the top line. If they can get Smolin back, which he said they're hoping to do, they'll be firing on all cylinders going into the most important play of maybe their 10-year period as a Division I team, trying to get that second NCAA tournament berth. Look, there's a lot of things that they can still clean up and get better at. We saw today they had giveaways on the defensive side, one that led to a goal. Cullen Potter missed a couple of chances that were available to him. So there's more out there for this team, but they have been resilient enough to continue to put themselves in these chances, and they have plenty of offensive skill, skating ability, guys that have been impressed by their overall capability on the offensive side. They're one of the better teams when you look at a lot of the metrics throughout the country, and that was illustrated, I think, tonight.
Yeah, and you briefly touched on that top line tonight. It was Charlie Shane, Artem Schlane, and Ryan Kerwin. Kerwin, with his 25th goal of the season, he led the NCHC in goal scoring in the regular season. He got the overtime winner. Artem Schlane had a pair of his own, and then Charlie Shane, of course, on the wing on that end. But looking ahead for ASU, you know, they've punched their ticket to St. Paul now, but still a lot of work to be done in the pairwise if they want to get that NCAA tournament spot. Their chances went up to about 20% following the win last night, but still the pairwise probability matrix gave them a 0% chance of an at-large bid. So it's looking like they're either going to be playing Denver. If Denver wins their series against Colorado College, that series is tied at 1-1 right now. If Colorado College wins that series tomorrow, they will face a former goaltender for the Sun Devils, TJ Septemfelter, and North Dakota. So still kind of a lot of ground to be made up. Chris, what does that kind of picture look like right now?
Well, they know they need to win to feel comfortable, right? You can make an argument that ASU's body of work is deserving already of an NCAA tournament berth. That comes down to how you evaluate the pairwise, and you look at some of these performances by teams in the Hockey East or the Big Ten. We've talked about it, but bottom line is they're going to have to win in the semifinals, at least play in the finals. I think they may end up needing to win the trophy to be able to play in the NCAA tournament. They're capable of it. We know that. Are they going to be able to put a strong performance out there on the ice to show it? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, and Power said before this series, our goal is to win a trophy, and hey, they're halfway there, 2 wins down, 2 to go. The tournament starts this Friday, the 21st of March. I'll be in St. Paul to have you covered for that. All the media festivities start on Thursday, the NCHC end of season awards on Thursday night, and then of course that ever important semifinals game on Friday with the final championship game on Saturday. We'll have you covered through the week as the Sun Devils get set for the final round of this NCHC playoff. Until then, Gabby Chernoff and Chris Cartman here at Mullet Arena for SunDevilSource.